Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is March the 30th, 2025. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. We've had a good Sunday so far. We had a great Saturday night. So, decent little amount to get into real quick, if you don't mind. But Sunday, it has been solid. I got up at a reasonable hour in the morning. We went to the gym. Gym went well. Then, or no, let me flip that. We went to the grocery store first. I always like to go to the grocery store first because I don't like to be sweaty at the grocery store. Went to the grocery store, got our groceries, then came home, then went to the gym. Gym went fine. Then after gym, we're back home, and here we are podcasting. So overall, Sunday has gone pretty good. The way we like. And then last night was fun. Last night we went to Northside. Very classic gangs, very fun. The gang, well, a lot of the gang came out. So it was nice to see some faces, see some people as always. We did some bar hopping. Food corner, though. Actually, we got a couple of food spots or food situations, I guess I should say. But first was the usual Chameleon, which was good, which was very yummy. I got my pizza trio, pepperoni. Then the veggie that I got had onions, tomato, mushrooms, and pesto. And then the Bianca was tomato, bacon, onion, and then it obviously had like the white sauce. So it was good. It was giving like chicken bacon ranch without the ranch, which I prefer. I will say though, chicken bacon ranch is a good slice of pizza, but it all varies, depending on the pizza spot, of course, and how much you like that stuff. But I'm okay with it. Ranch on pizza, it's fine. I'm a pineapple on pizza guy, so I definitely can never talk smack. So yeah, I mean, the food at Chameleon was good. The vibes were good. Like I said, we hit a couple other bars as usual. Then come back, kind of HQ if you like. And the homies got together. One had made waffles, and then the other one was like, "All right, I can whip up some eggs." So we had eggs and waffles. I specifically egg and what was it? Waffle egg sandwiches. So that was yummy. That was really good. I will say I have a very, difficult relationship with eggs. Love eggs. They're very yummy. They're very tasty. But, they just blow me up. Like, they just upset my stomach real bad. But in this situation, they were worth it. I think there was some cheese involved too. I don't know. I might have just been gone in the moment. But overall, good time was had. Also, a few of my friends are going to be going to Japan in the near future, so I'm excited for them to do that. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing about for my future little Northside hangs for at least a week or so. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. You'll know the day after. But yeah, let's we're done yapping. We're done blogging. We can go ahead and get into the news. But first, let's do our startup. Who? Who? Excuse me. From USA Today. No survivors aboard plane that departed Iowa airport, crashed in Minnesota, police say. No one aboard a small plane traveling from Iowa survived after it crashed in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota on Saturday, police said. The Sokata TB-M7 plane crashed around 12:20 p.m. in a residential area in Brooklyn Park, the Federal Aviation Administration, or the FAA, told USA Today. The aircraft departed from Des Moines International Airport and was headed to Anoka County Blaine Airport in Minneapolis before the incident, according to the federal government agency. According to FlightAware, the single prop airplane began its journey in Naples, Florida, and stopped in Des Moines at around 10:30 a.m. The plane took off 45 minutes later. It crashed 6 minutes before its scheduled landing time. There were no survivors on the plane. There were no survivors in the plane. Brooklyn Park Fire Chief Sean Conway announced at an afternoon press conference. Conway said he did not know how many people were on the plane or their identities. The FAA also said it did not know how many people were aboard the plane. I think that we can fast forward a bit. There's a quote from Tim Walz, but that is it's a quote, not really that important if you ask me. Let's see. Here we go. The possible capacity for the plane includes a pilot and one passenger on the flight deck, and up to 5 people can sit in the main cabin, airliner said. More than 125 of the Socata TB-M7 aircraft are in service worldwide, according to airliners. So, obviously, a bit of a grim start for the episode, but just relevant plane news, relevant plane talk. Let's move on, though. We're going from one crash to another, but this one's a little bit less grim. We're talking more, rockets and whatnot. From CNN. Orbital rocket crashes seconds after takeoff in rare European spaceport. Can I not say space today? Spaceport launch. There we go. Let's see. A German startup's orbital rocket spun out and crashed seconds after takeoff Sunday in a rare European test flight that the marker said met its set goals. The flight from a spaceport in northern Norway marked the first time a rocket capable of reaching orbit was launched from continental Europe, excluding Russia, manufacturer Isar Aerospace said. The rocket, called Spectrum, was airborne for only around half a minute before dramatically falling into the chilly Norwegian Sea. Isar Aerospace and other European startups are scrambling to seize a segment of a rapidly expanding space race, currently dominated by companies and government-owned entities in the United States and China. The company framed Sunday's launch as a step forward towards the goal, saying in a statement, Isar Aerospace met its set goals. After ignition of its first stage, Spectrum successfully lifted off for its first test flight lasting approximately 30 seconds. This allowed the community to gather a substantial amount of flight data and experience to apply on future missions. So, they're hailing this as a good thing. Hey, if these are going to be companies that are going to potentially, rival SpaceX or something, that sounds good to me. Hey, we're doing the whole capitalism thing. Competition is good, right? Especially, I guess, in the space race. So, yeah, we'll see, what comes of that in the future. But, I love a good space talk, and, we'll living and learning and crashing a rocket. Sounds good to me. Anyway, let's move on to our next story. Actually, it's our last story. But it's split up between 2 articles because it kind of tells a bit more. And, if I can combine them together, we kind of get a bit of a fuller picture, if you will. But let's go ahead and take our last break, and we will close this out. Whew. All right. First half is from the BBC. Taliban releases detained U.S. citizen Faye Hall. The other article is from CNN. American woman detained in Afghanistan has been freed. So, starting from the BBC article, an American citizen who is held by the Taliban in Afghanistan for 2 months has been released. Washington's former envoy to Kabul has said. Faye Hall will be soon be heading home after she was arrested by the Taliban in February. Zalmay Khalilzad, who served at the U.S. as the U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan from 2018 to 2021, wrote on X. Now, a focus that was kind of added on from the BBC angle was Miss Hall, who is now in the care of Qatari officials, was detained alongside a British couple in their 70s, Barbie and Peter Reynolds, and their interpreter. The couple ran trading programs for women and girls and stayed when the Taliban retook control of Afghanistan in 2021. Afghan officials have not made the reason for their arrest public. Um, let's see here. Now, despite the fact that Hall has been freed, obviously the two of them are still in detention. Let's see, adding a little bit more here. The couple met in England, married in Kabul in 1970, and have run educational programs in the region for years. Let's see here. Now I want to move to the CNN article. Faye Hall was released Thursday following a court order with the logistical support from Qatar, which has been mediating on the U.S.'s behalf. The source said she was detained in the country on charges of using a drone without authorization. So that was their reasoning for taking her. Let's see here. Now, this has kind of been labeled as like a good faith deal, but just kind of scrolling ahead. On Wednesday, the U.S. removed millions of dollars of bounties on 3 Taliban officials, but kept their terrorist designations. A U.S. Department spokesperson confirmed there is no current reward offer for the Taliban's Sirajuddin Hajani or Haqqani. I'm going to say Haqqani. I'm sure I'm getting that wrong. Mea culpa. Abdul Aziz Haqqani and Yahya Haqqani. However, they remain designated as specially designated global terrorists, or SDGTs, and the Haqqani network remains designated as a foreign terrorist organization and a SDGT. So maybe that was like a soft concession that was made here, and we're making this trade. Obviously this is points for the Trump administration that they've been trying to free so many people and make so many of these hostage or prisoner deals, whatever you want to fucking call them. So this was an interesting development that I wanted to cover and close out for the day. But yeah, that is where we will leave it. I know a bit of a shorter episode. Hopefully it was sweet. But yes, no shilling. We don't need to do all that. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.